Pathway to Purpose. Family, my name is Sidney Young, your host here, and I just want to start off by saying I love you. I really do. I really love you, and I want to say thank you so much for joining me and sticking with me through all these different episodes that we have put out over the last couple of years. We have more people come in, more guests, but today's guest is an important one and well worthy of mentioning. Asa and Darius Boyd. They are from Boyd Game. If you haven't heard of that, the link is going to be in the description of this podcast, also on the YouTube channel. It's an amazing YouTube channel called Boyd Game about hunting and different things of that nature, but not only about hunting, but definitely about Jesus and getting close to him. So you should definitely check that out, hear what they have to say, and hear about their yes to God. Let's get into it. We were talking before the podcast about, people who sing, right? And we said that, me and Asa are just such amazing singers that they put us on choirs with a lot of people, right?
To help us out.
To help out the other people. Do you sing there?
I done been on chorus for a couple of years.
School?
I used to be a rapper, but
you did not.
Yeah, I used to be a rapper, but I still got balls, but
He used to be a rapper?
That's what he's been telling me.
Yeah.
When?
I'll be honest, one of our first dates, that's when I found out. And it was like, he was just in it. We went to a poetry thing, and he told me, and he was so excited about it. Yeah. And then he started rapping. I was like, wow, this is interesting.
I actually like poetry, too.
Okay.
I can see myself doing, poetry. I actually find myself doing poetry at the poetry event. Like writing down my own poetry in my phone.
Yeah.
Or whatever, because it's like motivation. And it's just like rapping, rhyming, getting people to do the little clicks or whatever, the little thumb, the little snaps. So, I like it.
I'm sorry. How'd you just snap with your right hand? Can you show me that?
Hey.
Can you show me how you snap with your right hand?
We're just gonna do that. We're just gonna do that. But yeah, it's like so.
He's using his ring finger on his right hand, which is fine. If it work, it work. But you just can't use your middle. There's another podcast that I will put a link to the description in, where you can hear us talking about snaps. But I've known you for like 3 years. I didn't know that you rapped.
Yeah.
You actually don't rap, but you can rap. Are you a rapper? Yeah. Do you consider yourself a rapper?
No.
No, okay. I didn't think so.
No. No.
I'll say if you did, I just didn't know.
Do you have a rap name?
Yeah.
Who's going to?
They were back in the day, but I ain't gonna say it on screen. Yeah.
Okay.
So, thank y'all for coming on the Pathway to Purpose podcast. Can you all tell us about a time that you said yes to God?
Yes. We can do that. You want to start or?
Ladies first.
I think we said yes to God when we said yes again to marriage.
Okay.
Of course, Darius and I got married or whatever. Lovely stuff. We got married in 2019, the end of 2019, and by 2021. We were slightly saying no to marriage. Just a lot of things happened. I don't even know if we really know how we got there. But we really tried all the traditional ways, I guess you could say. We tried, we maybe talked to friends, tried counseling and things of that nature. And it was ironic that in counseling is when I really was like, I don't think this is gonna work. And it just so happened this was around the same time where I had said yes to moving to Atlanta. And I kind of wanted my husband to say yes. But off the bat, he didn't. And so I was like, oh yeah, that's then, I know it's really downhill from here, blah, blah, blah. And so I ended up moving down here, ironically, the same month of our was it 2 year? 1920. Our 2-year anniversary. And I honestly in that moment, I didn't think he would come. I really didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. So to follow up on that, it was definitely yes to marriage. Because the thing about it, marriage takes work, and you got to be willing to put that work in for your marriage to definitely be successful. You can look at people marriages on the outside and they look very good, but you can't compare your marriage to someone else because it's you two that's in it together. It's not everybody else. Of course, people can see y'all on your smiley days, but yet at home, it ain't all about smiles or whatever because people have feelings and everything, and so you definitely got to be considerate of that kind of stuff and everything. So yeah, that's all.
Yeah, so there was a space where, like you said, you're gonna move you're gonna be in two completely separate states, and still be married and still try to work it out, right? Yeah. And ultimately, it didn't happen like that. A couple months later, you were both reunited in the same city. Yeah. But there had to have been some place, right, where God was like, there's a reason for y'all being married together. Like, you're not just, there's something that kept you going, right? Mm-hmm. Like, did he give you any kind of insight as to what that would be, or what do you think? Like, what's the reason that kept y'all together?
What I think kind of kept us apart when we were together was I really wasn't 100% sure that my husband was in our marriage for me. And as much as, because during this time, we had a lot of really deep conversations that it's unfortunate that we had to get to that point to have these deep conversations, but we had them. So I'm grateful for that. But upon moving here, kind of the issue was, number one, he's not going to come here. This is going to be the end of it. So really, more so kind of I can't even say I was hoping for the best, but I was just kind of expecting the worst. So I was like, well, I'm going to just move because I said I was going to move, and, that's going to be it. He'll, excuse me, kind of prove where he's at. He ended up coming here, and it kind of proved that, he's in it, and just even in the stance of it, like the planning of it and everything like that, like he'd figured out the whole situation of it, and even to the space of like planning what he was gonna do while he was here, what we were gonna do, put in work. Yeah, exactly. And there had been a space where I didn't see that, yeah, and he showed that, and I was like, oh wow, like. So I guess this is something. And I don't know, but maybe it was the, they say absence makes the heart grow fonder and stuff like that. But it really did. I was excited. I was overjoyed. It felt like we were back dating. Yeah. Interesting.
Reunited and it feels so good. You
say rapper.
Oh, you gotta rap.
Yeah. Yeah, but so back to what she was saying. For me, it was, if it's something that you really want, you'll be willing to make a change for it. Because sometimes you can get comfortable in positions that you're in, and you're so comfortable that you don't want to make a move for something different, for change. And that can be a setback for some people. And for some people, it might not be no setback. But I knew that if I would have stayed still in our marriage, as far as where we were at the time and the stuff that was going through, because I want to say it yes. I want to say it yes, but I said yes for the better and for change, for me to not be stuck in. Sometimes you can get comfortable in places in life to where you can think about a yes, but you still don't say yes. At the end of the day, the people looking in can say, oh yeah, they're saying yes, but in your mind, you know that you haven't said yes, and you really can tell. So that was definitely a big move for me to say yes. Because sometimes I just be comfortable in different spaces or whatever, but I knew that I had to be uncomfortable in a situation, in that particular situation, at the time to be comfortable. So uncomfortable to be comfortable is a good thing. And I definitely, it was definitely a good thing for me to be uncomfortable with saying yes, to be comfortable in my marriage or whatever. Even though we was a state away, and like probably like 4 hours. So it was definitely a big move. It was a big move for me to drive. It was my first time driving to Atlanta by myself. And as some people would know, Atlanta traffic is no joke. So I definitely had to suck that up, but I did it. And I showed up or whatever. So, and when I showed up, I had to make sure that I had plans instead of being the same old comfortable me without just like showing up without having plans. But preparing yourself in advance is what some people need. And whenever I prepared myself in advance, it worked out for my good or whatever. So I was excited about that.
I think that's so good because it goes past marriage, right? When it comes to us wanting to be comfortable, because you could be comfortable in one specific area, and it affects everything else. Like it affected your move to Atlanta. It affected whatever God was going to do down here in this territory. And if you'd have stayed comfortable in what you thought was just your marriage, it could have stifled every other thing, right? Yeah. And that's amazing how like stuff just storm rolls, because I feel like our goal, we're working every day, working hard just to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Just be comfortable. And this is the biggest word that I don't like. I love it so much, but I don't like it so much, because when we're comfortable, sometimes we can forget to depend on God. Yeah. Which is the spot that you don't want to be in life. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I like read something where someone was like, success is not in your comfort zone. Like, everything that you want is not there. Why? Like if you had it, it would it would be there. So clearly stepping out of that is where you need to go to go forward.
I bring up something that you said to me not too long ago. You said that God's not gonna he's not gonna bless your disobedience, right? Can you unpack that, because that hit me hard, man. I was in a very disobedient state. So.
I think it's because we find ourselves, like we said, we find ourselves comfortable. We find ourselves like, oh, I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and yeah, that is comfortable. But why would we expect for God to find that worthy of his things? Like that doesn't take anything away from the fact that God loves us and everything like that. But as far as like even just thinking of it, really, I find it best to think of it as like a parent-child relationship. If I continue to do the wrong thing, the Lord is not gonna find that favorable to him. He's not gonna bless that. He's still gonna take care of me and things like that. And I think we get that sometimes that confuses us, but that also gets us comfortable. Like, well, my needs are still met. I still got my job, blah, blah, blah. And you're going to stay right there in that space because you're not following those subtle, hey, I need you to quit your job. Hey, I need you to move to Atlanta. Hey, I need you to, do these things. Like, nah, I'm good. I'm okay. My bills get paid. Notice in the third. When in fact, the Lord just don't want to pay your bills. He wants you to provide jobs for other people. He wants you to affect the territory. We're not sent here to just do what we want to do for our own things to be paid. Literally, us listening to God and being obedient in what he is calling us to do is one of the only reasons that we are here. Our lives should look like a sacrifice. Our lives should look like a holy sacrament to God every single day in regards to what we do. And it may look very subtle. The world might not see it all the time, like what we're really having to deal with in order to be in the places that the Lord has us. The dying daily that we have to do for us to look like that, but that's okay because the Lord sees it and he honors it.
That's good. So you all are now here in Atlanta.
Yes.
It's kind of what type of space are you in now, right? Because it's kind of a just what type of space are you in now? What are you expecting? What do you see happening? What's going on?
I'm in a good space.
You know, can I go first?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like I said, I moved down here first. I moved down here in November. And it's funny because it was like, okay, this is cool, da da da. I wasn't out here wilding or anything like that, but still I was like, ooh, it's kind of comfortable.
Atlanta.
Yeah, exactly. I'm in the big city, I'm a married single woman. No.
Wow. That's a big statement. Wow. But that's how you felt.
But yeah, I was like, I'm slightly freer because I always had the I don't want to say burden of the responsibility of being a wife, taking care of your husband and things like that. Just kind of in the space that we were in. And in the situation that we were in, there was some resent in that part, but I still had that. That space of, well, this is what I'm supposed to do because I am a wife still, no matter how I feel. That's in the third. And so came down here. It was, just me, my friends and whatnot. And so we were, kind of going. And then my friends are married. And I was like, aren't they cute? They're just like, oh, so cute. And I was like, it would be nice to have my husband.
Oh, man. You preach to the choir. You preach to the choir. We're going to get back, but I have to touch on that. Because for some reason, marriage comes up on almost every single podcast that I have. I try not to bring it to the forefront, but it just happens. But if you're here for marriage conversation, you came to the right place. Hey. But, it's annoying when you see, like, all these happy couples out here, and you're like, dang, that's supposed to be me. Like, hey, that was me, like, a couple years ago. I feel like I did everything right. Like, why not? Like, y'all get on my nerves. Like, having somebody to go to tell your problems. It's like that small. I just want somebody to talk to about my problems. And it's like, but you also don't want to, when it comes to getting back out there and getting married again, you don't want to just marry somebody and trauma bond. Then you just two people who think that you love each other, but you really don't. You just came together because of some problems that you had in your life. And it's like, oh, I had this same problem. Like, oh, I had this same problem. It was kind of different. Let's talk about it. Oh, we love each other, but you really don't. Yeah. So you don't want to rush into something crazy. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you gotta, that's why you gotta love yourself before you can love somebody else.
Legitimately.
And focus on God. Because if you don't, then you'll end up down the rabbit hole. But yeah, back to...
And it's interesting that you say trauma bond, because I won't necessarily say that we were trauma bonded, but there were some particular pieces. There were some spaces where I had trauma, and my husband was the answer to that. He was the comfy blanket, and I started healing. And I didn't need my blanket anymore.
Wow.
And on the other side of that, I'm sure there were things that my husband was going through, but in my space, I didn't realize it was my turn to help in those spaces. And so that's part of the resentment aspects. Like, you need help now? Like, what? No, I'm supposed to be the one to, need the help and then don't need it. And, we're good now. So. And
that's thinking about, like, being a help meet to your partner, right? Yes. Because you can start off in this place and then switch it up, and now he's up here and then you're down here, and know it goes back and forth, and it'll happen like that throughout the years.
Yes, the whole time. And it's really realizing that, number one, getting out of yourself. I had to do that because, well, let me go back to where I was. I wasn't ready for my husband to come here. I was like in the physical form and aspect or whatever, as far as like, ooh, I can hug my husband and, all that other great stuff. All that other great stuff. And now he's here and we're in that, the boat is still there.
Yeah.
And we're in that boat is still there. We just kind of hop back into the boat and we're like, oh, dag. we weren't physically together. So of course, you're not hashing out, marital issues on the weekends that he's here. Cause it was like 4 months that we had separated. And so when it kind of finally like came back, it was like, okay, hold up. We need to, or even more so myself, I need to like back up and realize that the issues that there were slightly some of them are still here. Okay. The Lord kind of used Darius to allow me to see that, hey, your husband is here for you. Stop that. Like, just don't, that's not even a thing. Yeah. The Lord, that your husband is here for you. He's 100%, he's in this. Yeah, I mean, there are certain places that, you guys still need to, show each other, how to love each other. However, spaces where we needed to, how can I say, spaces that need to be kind of resolved. And also I'd been here for these 4 months and I had gone through the, spiritual warfare and things like that and still in it. But I had kind of acquired some fighting elements. I had acquired some war gear per se. My husband just kind of was just in it. So I know that there are spaces that I need to be that comfy blanket for him. Yeah. And having to assume that. And in my space, typically my when I see that something like needs aid, I want to like manually do it. That is in the third. But what I realized was my prayer life wasn't as strong as it needed to be. That I needed to be praying for my husband more. I needed to be, talking or having real conversations with my husband more. Because that same couple that I was like, oh, they're so cute. They've also both told me in spaces that there was prayer. There was those real conversations. That's why they are where they are right now. That's the only reason why they are right now. So if that's what I want, then guess what I need to do? I need to pray for my husband. I need to pray for my marriage. And there's something so particularly, how you listen to people say stuff and you're like, oh, that's cute or whatever, but that's not how it happens. Where there's literally spaces where I have prayed for my husband and or like, he maybe has done something to upset me or whatever. I've prayed about it and he come back and be like, oh, well, I'm going to do it this way. Doesn't there legit have been in prayer like that morning. But that evening, he's like, I'm going to do this, 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 and this. I'm like, okay.
Prayer works.
Mm-hmm. Prayer works. Prayer just changes things. All the cliche situations. Yes, it does do those things.
So Darius, where are you now that you're here?
I'm in a good space. As I was saying earlier. But from the place that I was in before I came down here, I wasn't in no bad place. I could have been in a place to where I could have said no about coming because of promotion on jobs. But I had a promotion on the job. That's why I didn't come straight down. But we needed that time apart to focus more on God and to focus more on saying yes, because that was another reason I said yes about leaving my job. And it was right after I had a promotion or whatever, because sometimes you can get stuck. You can get stuck in position to where, just like it was said earlier, paying your bills and, you can do all of that and everything and it'll keep you there. Mm-hmm. But if you're working for everything to go toward bills, it's not a good job. It's not a good job. You should be somewhere you can be able to thrive. Living is one thing, but thriving is a different level. You wanna be able to do things that you wanna do. I ain't saying like whenever you wanna do them, because of course if you're working, you do get the vacation time that usually get built up. But you wanna have that the finer things in life. Yeah. The finer things in life. So whenever I said yes to leaving my job, it was definitely a hit across the head for the job. Everybody was stunned because I told them, like, right at my 2-week mark, that, hey, in 2 weeks, I'm not going to be here. Moving out of state or whatever. And of course, everybody, oh, well, what you going to be doing and stuff or whatever. I had a plan. I had a backup plan or whatever. So I stuck with my backup plan, and my backup plan, it has been pretty good. It has worked out pretty good or whatever. And just to be here, somewhere different, whenever you're used to the same thing, I think that it's gonna come a point in your life to where you need something different as far as scenery, because where I came from and here is a totally different scenery. Or whatever. So whenever I said yes to moving down here, that was definitely a big yes towards saying yes to our marriage. As for our marriage going forward and being prosperous or whatever in it, or whatever, definitely had to say yes to that.
Can we talk about, because you talked about the people on your job and stuff, but just talk about how sometimes we'll make decisions of what God told us to do, and it'll look crazy to other people. It'll also look crazy to yourself sometimes. But like the reaction that other people have because you're following what God said is not always going to be the best thing. Like, was there anybody in your, not like specifically by name, right? Don't be calling people out on the podcast. I mean, if you want to, whatever. Yeah. I mean, if you want to call them out, call them out. But like, is there anybody who like what was the reaction to the people around you when you decided to make that move?
So of course it was a lot of questions asked, but once you know that your mind already made up, you got to do what's best for you, not for best for the people that's around you. Because, of course, the people around you definitely want to see you successful. But some people want to see you successful in a way
that's comfortable for them,
to where it's comfortable for them to be successful in life.
That's good, because they're not necessarily trying to hurt you, right?
Yeah.
They want what's best for you. Sometimes.
They just want what's best for you or whatever, and they want to know your next move as for a stability state, as having a stability income check or whatever to just pay bills again.
Yeah.
Because that's what.
But
I'm sorry.
Whenever I kind of got out of that just paying bill mindset of know your worth and know your work. Once you know your worth and work, you'll know that it's time to move on, to go somewhere different and go to that next step in life, that next level up, because you always will have that next level up in life where the level up, you definitely got to level up for God, but once you level up with God, He'll level you up in the world, how people see you as being different or whatever, as like, hey, he took that leap of faith and he stepped out on faith for things not seen, but yet you believe in them. And so that's what I did, and I'm happy that I took that leap of faith or whatever, and I'm happy. I'm happy and I'm content right now. But of course, I know that it's another level up coming, and level up don't come every week or whatever. Level up don't come every year. Level ups might come every 10 years, every 20 years, but once it's time to level up, you need to level up. Just don't stay in no stagnant state to where you're not growing. You definitely got to be growing. Just like somebody used to say that I used to always hear or whatever. Don't give where you're living, we're sowing where we're growing. So you want to sow where you're going to grow and not be giving where you're living. Because if you give where you live, you'll be stuck in one spot in your life for the whole time, not sowing where you're growing. Because you can have that big idea, that big dream, but if you haven't sowed toward it, you don't know that that's where you're going toward. or whatever. So, you still can be stuck in that state to where you just giving where you living and giving where you living and giving where you living, and you get burnt out on giving where you living, but you don't have that next level up in life, either that motivation to make that level up in your life, to the next level. So, yeah.
So do you all? I guess I want to talk about something that I'm really not good at, right? I haven't tried being outdoors, right? I want to open up being outdoors, because when I think of being outdoors, I think about people spending time with God, right? And not just going outside. I go outside, guys, but like hunting and fishing and stuff like that. It's not necessarily my forte, but it is y'all's. Is it y'all's, or is it just okay? It's Darius's.
Yeah.
So I want to be careful. Gosh, because I can't say it. Also, how when you're dating, you want to connect.
Never dated in my life, so no, I don't.
But no, so there is something so attractive for me about listening to my husband talk about hunting and fishing. Wow. So in turn, I've learned so much. And because he's so passionate about it. And it's like, oh my gosh. He really is. Legit, we saw turkeys the other day, and I'm outside sitting there recording the turkeys, so amazed. And then homeboy starts doing turkey calls with his mouth, and I'm like, oh my God. And then the turkeys were responding. And I'm like, what is this? Because I've always had a love for animals and things of that nature. But being able to be a part of it and stuff, and just nature in general. Mm-hmm. I don't like to kill bugs and things like that. I don't prefer them, but I feel like, they may have a family. You gotta return them.
I kill them.
You gotta return them, and especially outdoors, because I'm like, we're in their territory. Yeah. But yeah, he's just so passionate about it. So that kind of I don't know. It's weird. It's not weird. It's love. Typically anything that my husband is really passionate about, I'm like, okay, let's do it. Let's go. That's fine. So yeah, I've been hunting because my husband wanted to go. He needed somebody to record.
Can we talk about that trip that y'all took? Where was it? It was in North Carolina, right? And it was an amazing trip. It was somebody's birthday, right? And they got a lot of people together. Tell me about it.
Yeah. So
I want you to tell both perspectives.
Yes, let's do that.
So, I started a YouTube channel, about outdoors hunting, fishing, and survival. Mm-hmm. So I was watching other YouTubers, ones that I looked up to that, but I was actually looking at the ones that was kind of just getting out there around time I was getting out there too, because the ones that was already out there, they was already known or whatever. But I actually reached out to this guy from North Carolina, and he reached back out to me, and so he invited me to a hunt for his birthday. It's a yearly hunt that him and his uncle have, because their birthday on the same date, and both of them hunt. So I got invited. So I didn't turn it down, but my wife was behind me 110%.
Absolutely.
110%. She was there for the whole time, about planning everything that I would need or whatever. But I think on the back end, whenever I told her that she was going to be a camera woman, it sounded real good. It sounded real good, because she really didn't know what she was embarking on, as her first time going
bamboozled
rabbit hunting.
So you didn't have the full story.
Not at all.
Oh.
But, I mean, I'll let you finish though.
Okay.
Yeah. So we went to North Carolina, and of course it just had snowed. It just had snowed. So I have never hunted in the snow like that. So I knew that I needed extra clothes. I knew that my wife needed extra clothes or whatever. But I don't think I prepared her enough mentally. But I definitely prepared her physically to be warm and cozy. But it wasn't what she expected. She liked it because I liked it. Well, she liked it because I loved it. Let me put it that way. She liked it because I loved it. And you can like something because other people love it, but you don't necessarily have to love it as long as you're there to support them or whatever, to make them feel like, hey, I'm behind you or whatever. But that she was behind me 110% whenever we started or whatever. But the day we got out there for the hunt or whatever, we left early that morning. We left at what time? We left out at 4.
Yeah.
It
was real early.
We left out early. We left out at 4 o'clock because it had like an hour and a half ride to get there. And whenever you want to start at daybreak or whatever, so we got there. And whenever we arrived, everything looked good or whatever, and everything was going good. But outdoors over an extended period of time is not for everybody. Because hunting take patience. No matter what kind of hunting you do, it's not just like, oh, we here and we finna harvest rabbits as soon as we get there. No, the dogs got to put the work in. You got to follow the dogs. The dogs got to circle the rabbit back around to you so that you can get the rabbit. Because it's not like Elmer Fudd and Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny always was there when Elmer Fudd was there with the gun. So, but it's not like that or whatever. So I was definitely thankful for my wife's support, but I know that that's a hunt that I don't think she'll ever do again. I don't think or either I can convince her to doing it, but the conditions have to be much different. No snow, because the thing about it, hunting in knee-deep snow, going down in ravines and gullies and valleys and uphill, downhill, it's for the best of them.
So the snow is the problem.
It probably would have been bad even without the snow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I've never prayed as much as I had in my life. It was a beautiful experience because I was outside looking at all that the Lord had created, and
that's a cop-out answer.
Just praying like, Lord, if you get me through this, I don't even know what it was, but dear Jesus, help me, please. But okay, so. You good on your side? Okay. Yeah. My side, first off, it started well before all this other stuff. I have a message to wives. Wives, your husband may come to you with a lot of things. Support them. Sometimes, some of them are like, okay, baby, that's really good. But some of them, just support them because it definitely will be a part of that level up situation. And they're just kind of giving it to you for that, needing that support and everything like that. But my husband had stated he wanted to reach out. And I'm like, yeah, let's go ahead. Let's do it. And in fact, that year I had done a vision board, and we do our vision boards very differently. It's no manifestation or anything like that. It's Dear Jesus.
Amen.
This is what we're looking for, Lord God, for this year. And I asked my husband, he was talking about he wanted to go to North Carolina, and he was talking about, he wanted to contact this YouTuber. And excuse me, I was like, well, hey babe, this is I don't even know if we went back to the vision board. We were just kind of working in faith. Yeah. Because I think we legit came back from the trip and realized North Carolina was checked off the board, and visiting with this YouTuber was checked off the board. Because really all I was thinking was, hey, the YouTuber lived in North Carolina. Maybe we can meet in Charlotte, and because it's kind of halfway for both of us. Maybe we can meet in Charlotte, have dinner or something with he and his girlfriend, and legit they talked, and the first conversation or the second conversation was like, yeah, I'm hunting XYZ date in January. You coming? And it was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go. And so I thought that was like God stuff right there. Yeah. The whole situation. And they talk about God there all over their YouTube channel. And I honestly feel like you can't be a hunter or do things outdoors without having a God experience without really realizing, because first off, some of the things that you see, some of the things that you're able to do out there, you can't not know that there is a God and the God, you know? Mm-hmm. So anyway, we got it together. I was excited. I was like, oh yeah, we're going out there. I remember I met my husband at the outdoor store. I was getting my clothes and everything like that. And we go up to North Carolina, you know, pretty cool stuff. We had the hotel, Daughters in the Third. We get out there, you know, see everybody, like the camaraderie within hunting is like, it's superb. Hey. So we get out there first to the hunting club, and everybody's out there with their dogs and stuff like that. I love dogs. I want to play with the dogs. They're hunting dogs. They're working dogs. Can't really play with the dogs. I'm like, okay, it's cool. You know, it's fine. I'll leave them be. So we got out there, and we had to drive to like the hunting grounds or wherever.
The hunting club.
The hunting club. Mm-hmm. We went out there, and there's even more people there, and everybody's like joking and getting ready, putting on their third layer of clothes. You know, I have 2 layers of clothes on, and I'm ready. Yeah. So I mean, I came out there ready, but you know, they putting more clothes on. I was like, okay, maybe they just, you know, they cold natured. It's cool. It's whatever. Yeah. It's legit. We didn't get to where we're supposed to hunt. First off, there's like the parking space, and that's just field. Then there's the I don't say barrier, but there's the
wood line.
The wood line.
Yeah.
And all you see is rolling hills of snow and tall grass.
Oh.
Brown tall grass.
That's cool.
And my husband said, okay, so we gotta. So they were all talking and stuff like that, talking about we gotta walk through this just to get to where we need to hunt at. I said, what? Huh? Legit. From the car to the wood line, my feet were frozen.
Wow.
I said, babe, I can't feel my feet. Yeah. That's okay. Mind you, I had like 2 pair of socks on. I had the hot packs in my shoes. Yeah. Frozen. I said, this is interesting. So we walking through this tall grass. Next thing you know, ow, stuff sticking you. It's sticky briar. So sticky briars in there. Next you know, people just start falling. Falling into stuff. And legit, don't catch yourself. Fun fact, do not catch yourself. Just kind of go ahead and take it back.
Yeah. Just let it fall.
Yeah. Let yourself fall, because you're going to do more harm, because you got sticky briars and everything else.
Your hand going to go straight into it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And then you also got a firearm, too. You don't want to be trying to catch yourself and you mess around, get caught on something else, and then your gun get caught on something else.
You're carrying a gun.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So you know, you definitely want to be safe around the people that you're around.
I'm trying not to laugh so much. I'm sorry.
And so I'm a tall 5'2", 5'3" on a great day. Legit, to get through this stuff, I'm literally like reaching my leg open to take steps. Now, homeboy over here, he go, come on, babe, it's cool, it's good, come on, babe. I mean, so supportive. So what you could have been was supportive at the house. Like, and then I'm supposed to be out here recording. So I'm trying to maneuver phones and all this other good stuff so we can like get good shots. You know, mass comm major. We not get it for the shot.
Yeah.
So I'm in this. I'm doing this. My husband we're doing this. Got through this stuff finally, and then it was like now we're in the forest or whatever, and then we had to climb over the creek.
Yeah,
was that a creek or was that a full river?
I did. I left you on the other side every time.
No, I was talking about the little creek thingy.
Oh yeah, we did have to hop across a small creek. I didn't take you across.
Would you give too much information?
Yeah, because the big creek. The big creek. I actually got stuck trying to come back up the hill myself. So I wasn't going to put my wife in that predicament because I know she was already, probably on about 8.
Let me tell you, I found a good stump. A good solid stump.
To sit on?
Oh, it was nice too. It was nice. You know you've been working when you got to take off this like lines coat. Because you hot. In the snow.
Yeah.
In the snow. I've been working out here.
it was like 17 or 18 degrees that morning. So it was definitely well below freezing. So, but
did you get anything?
Yeah. Good footage and time. Hey,
by the end,
it be like that sometime with hunting, y'all.
By the end, I was like, we just gonna get out of here. I think I did. I put the hood on, but it's like, it was at a certain place where you're going through like the woods to kind of get back. And it's just so thick. And I was like, no, we're going to push our way through because we're going to make it back to the car. Like, I'm telling you, the prayers that I prayed, God is so good and faithful. Because,
well, just like you said, that's the goal, to get closer to God. You know, you talk to Him and you see the obstacle ahead of you. And you know, the only way that you can get through it is with Jesus Christ. So go to Him.
Preach the word.
Hey, in real life, you see the obstacle in front of you, go to God first.
Yeah.
Before you try to get in there, because you're going to end up falling on some briars and getting hurt.
Listen.
Yeah.
But no, the whole experience was good. I got to see, oh my gosh, those are some of the like most beautiful dogs in the world. Yeah. So I got to see the dogs and it was just, honestly, it was really neat watching them work.
I love
and
dogs.
do that, watching them cut. And I was asking Darius, oh, can I touch it? Can I pet it? Because his owner is miles away. He's just smelling the scent, trying to smell the scent of the deer and stuff like that. But the dogs will be dogs and they want to play and stuff like that. But it was cool. But yeah, it was just, honestly, it was such a sense of accomplishment. Getting through it. I haven't had too many spaces where I felt personally accomplished.
Wow.
Where it's just been me and God getting through. I'll be honest. There's one time that I won't say in particular, and then there was that one. Oh my gosh.
That's so good, because trying something new is fun sometimes.
It is.
When you get through it, it's fun.
Yeah.
You know? So I will say I had the opportunity to go hunting. Mm-hmm. Remember that with Darius? We were, where were we? Dove hunting. Up in Newberry. It wasn't Newberry. It was somewhere else probably.
Yeah.
Outside of Newberry.
Connards.
Connards.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a city.
Yeah.
So.
But in Newberry County.
Yeah.
Newberry County.
So my experience wasn't great. I was behind the camera. I was just there to record, get some footage.
Yeah.
It was fun recording, and we didn't even walk. We walked to a place and we sat there the whole time.
Yeah.
How many hours were we out there?
Why can you take me there?
Oh,
7?
Man.
I don't think that would be better.
about 12 or 6.
We were there for hot. For 7 hours.
Yeah.
It was hot.
And
the chair got uncomfortable after a while.
September.
But you loved it, Eric.
South Carolina. Yeah. I did.
He loves it all.
I'm so glad that I went.
Yeah.
Because if I hadn't have gone, I would have been mad. It's I should have went out there. Yeah.
They could be like, I went hunting before.
I've been hunting. I didn't have a gun. Well, I had a gun on me, but that was, I wasn't Back when I was a police officer, I always had my gun on me.
Yeah.
But, it was nice seeing people get stuff and getting some footage of it. That was nice. Getting to meet some people, and that's part of it.
Yeah.
Talking with God, being in nature, that's all part of it. That's all part of trying something new.
Legitimately.
Yeah.
Legitimately. Yeah. Amazing chicken after we got out of
I saw the video.
It was delicious. It was delicious.
Yeah.
But I love an experience. So the whole situation, I love family time and stuff. That's what it was. I want Darius to start a hunting club so bad. It's probably just for me. Just for me. It's gonna be the nicest looking hunting club. I'm gonna be in there, hey guys.
Because you're a planner.
Up the pie.
you plan things like Grace. That's good.
I love it.
He's got the front end hunting.
Exactly. You do all that. I'll be in here.
That's good. So what is the name of the YouTube channel?
The name of the YouTube channel is Boyd Game Gang. I'm actually on a lot of platforms. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on YouTube. What else?
TikTok.
Oh, yeah. TikTok. Can't forget about that. Popular
Facebook.
right now. Facebook also. Yeah.
I'll put some links in the description for everybody.
Awesome.
Yeah.
To click on. It's an amazing channel. You get some real insight into both sides. You get some history about some things. You learn about hunting, and you learn about Jesus too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One of my favorite just real quick. One of my favorite videos was the conversations with Pop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like just listening to you talking to your grandfather.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was nice.
And the thing about me, I love to talk to old people. I think I'm a little bit old school if you ask me. But if you ask my wife, she'll say I'm 100 years old already. but I definitely like to get the old stories or whatever. It just do something for me, it just keep me going, so that whenever I get old, I can, I like to have the stories or whatever, to tell my grandkids and stuff, to be like, where your granddaddy came from, what your granddaddy did and stuff. So, okay.
Well, is there anything else that you all would like to say to the listeners of the Pathway to Purpose podcast?
I don't know. I think in the situation that we came out of, it is very important to pray. Very, very important to pray. It's a whole nother conversation as it relates to the spaces in which the Lord allows, I use it very, very, very loosely, allows divorce. But it's very important to pray, because I convince myself wholeheartedly, because none of those were the case, for us. And I do believe that there are some stretch places, but above all things, we have been given the amazing ability to pray to our Father, and Him to speak directly to us. So in those spaces, it's so important to pray. So important. And I constantly was like, Lord, give me a sign if you think that this is the right thing. Let us in the third, give me a sign if this is the wrong thing, blah, 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 blah. But it was like very, very much so, it was very clear that that this is something for the long haul, that this is a place that we're supposed to be. And what was happening was my own and Darius's own kind of agendas and things like that were getting in the way. I think even from the space of me moving first. And it was very kind of present from other people, like, I don't think so, that don't seem right. But you have to really talk to the Lord. You really have to talk to the Lord. Like that's the end of it, point blank, period. Because even like I was saying, even from the space of me moving away, there definitely was a space of like where Darius got the promotion, realizing that Darius's yes wasn't saying no, that he wasn't moving at that time. I think we did need that. We did need that time. We did need to kind of go back to ground zero and for Darius to do, because if Darius had moved there with us, it would have been very hard for him to plan a trip to come see me. Just different things like that. Just the little details in which God loves us in. Is so amazing to me. So really, amping up your prayer life is so important. Even like if something's going on or something isn't going on, realizing that we have a direct connection with the Lord, and it's open to us. We just need to use it. And I know, when you go to Him the first couple times, and it's more so us, where we're like, oh, well, I don't hear what He's saying, so let me let me do XYZ ABC now. Sometimes there's communication issues. And the communication issues are with us because we haven't been talking to Him enough and we haven't been listening enough. So it's hard for us to understand what the Lord is telling us. But practice makes, one of my old teachers said, practice makes good. Practice makes good. And if the Lord created this whole world and deemed it good, then I'm okay with good.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so for me, don't be afraid of change, because that change can be your next level up in life. So that's it.
So good. So good. prayer and not being afraid of change.
Mm-hmm.
Thank y'all for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I love y'all so much. So
Yeah.
It was nice having y'all here.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to the Pathway to Purpose podcast. Being able to create a platform for someone to tell their story and also a place for someone to hear it is extremely important to me. I hope you heard something that helps you grow and something that you can pass on to somebody else. Stay tuned for the next episode and check out the Pathway to Purpose Instagram and Facebook to see inspirational quotes to help you on your journey. I also want to give a big shout out to my whole team at Scott Young Media Group for making this podcast possible. Be blessed, everyone.